This is the story, Jennifer, of...
That's very good you've remembered her name.
Yes, Jennifer.
Yeah. Well, so
That's me.
When's David turning up? I was told this was question time. And so, in my briefing, it said there would be a BBC legend in the chair.
Hello.
And I'd be...
Now, Sadiq, you voted in Parliament to close a lot of post offices, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm not interested. I only said it to wind him up. I'm not actually interested in the answer.
Good, Jennifer.
Whoever gets the job with Ed will also be overseeing all visual images. Basically, it's to stop pictures appearing of him looking stupid, like these.
To get the Mexican vote.
Nicola Burdett, she was called.
No.
She had a specific brief to try and stop embarrassing photos being taken of Gordon.
It was in a school, and I think it was a project.
Yes.
I don't think it was a local headquarters.
Wasn't at home with Nigel Farage?
Ed did an odd thing on television the other day. He appeared to sniff the woman sitting next to him. On ITV's show The Agenda.
Because I would love to see you back in power, but what I would love you to do is to take risks.
Yes, Nigel Farage, and he's on his way to a public ceremony. Gays are allowed to get married since Sunday. Fantastic. Really good news, brilliant. And this couple here are amongst the first to actually, say the rights. They're now husband and husband. Fantastic news.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's a lovely story.
A lot of people think it won't last, but I'm all for it.
I think so. They've had a couple of arguments, a couple of them in public, but, they'll get together as a couple. They'll be absolutely fine.
This is the news that new computer software recognised 21 distinct facial expressions, when before it was thought we only had 6. Right, now, Ian, I'd like you to demonstrate some of them for me. Here are 3 expressions.
This one's embarrassedly apprehensive.
Here are 3 expressions you often use, so please show me disgusted. Angrily disgusted.
This is the Telegraph.
And then disgustedly surprised. And Paul.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah, go on then.
Yeah, I'd like you to go from happy to happily surprised. Wait, there's a third. To fearfully disgusted. Now, according to the Mail...
Who won on points?
There we go.
Oh, I don't.
You did a whole black
my
and white
glasses
film
on,
at the end.
Silent.
According to the Mail, we reserve sadly angry for when someone we care about upsets us. Sadiq, would you show us your face whenever Ed Miliband opens his mouth? Oh, I'm sorry. It's gone too far now. I'm sorry. Gone too far.
He's been doing broadly supportive for about an hour.
Right. Try a different one. What has caused these dust clouds, please?
Pollution from Europe and sand from the Sahara. The weather conditions have been such that the wind hasn't moved much. It's been very still, and so this is pollution. Apparently, it's not our pollution at all.
I think you're being a touch Farage, because I did read that there's quite a...
touch Farage.
That's what that look is. That's it.
There's a certain amount of our pollution here.
I mentioned that, you great twit.
No, you just said it was London. It's all of it.
Oh, it's all of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
What the fuck's this? What
remotely witty at all. I'm awfully sorry, I do apologise.
And also, I don't think the Pope would say that.
Oh, Miss Maria Miller. She's gone, going into a house, not hers.
I think it's absolutely disgusting, all these elected politicians using all these expenses to better themselves. It's disgraceful, isn't it, Ian?
It is absolutely disgraceful, Mr. Kettle.
What we've seen is a Prime Minister who clearly is totally disconnected with how the voters in Britain feel about MPs' expenses. That was Nigel Farage. The same Nigel Farage who in 2009 revealed that as an MEP he'd claimed in expenses £2 million of taxpayers' money.
Yeah. And who was it? Who was it that brought up the issue of £2 million and me and taxpayers' money? Dennis McShane.
Yeah, he's in jail, but you're not.
Yes, I had noticed that.
Good.
Yes, well, as a tax-funded MEP, Nigel Farage is an equal opportunities employer. Some of our money has gone to his wife and some to his mistress. Or have I
think that is allegedly, don't you? I think that is allegedly.
We can set the record straight now.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you ought to say allegedly, quite honestly.
Can I say, as a member of the press, I think, you know, actors really are in need of a royal charter. I mean, that sort of allegation is pretty distressing. Right, is it true?
No, afraid not.
Not true at all?
Not true at all.
Any of the good bits?
There are good bits.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Right.
Well, let's have a look, shall we, at some of those... OK, everyone, fingers on your buzzers. I'll show you some UKIP party members. You have to buzz in and tell me whether they're a fruitcake or a loony. Here's the first one.
I don't know who he is.
Ian.
I'm just guessing.
Yep.
Fruitcake.
I'm afraid that's the wrong answer. He's a loony. He's a would-be UKIP councillor and loony John Sullivan who wrote, "Regular physical exercise releases boys' tensions and thus avoided homosexuality." Which is quite right, Mr. Sullivan, and that's why you'll never see a gay man down the gym.
And what's he want to do with that? I don't know. What the Prince picked up was in fact a poisoned dart, is that right?
Oh, I don't know. But it's part of a ritual to prove that he's friend rather than foe.
I think that's right, and he had to maintain eye contact throughout.
Yes,
although those tattooed buttocks might have been a bit of a distraction, I'm not sure.
Were they distracting for you, Nigel?
No, not personally. We are, Ian, as you know, we're a very liberal-minded party.
Absolutely. I was going to suggest there's a gym nearby.
Flex your manifesto. So it's George Bush, he's become a painter.
Yes.
Now we know what he did with all that oil.
Yeah, exactly.
He loves oil. Painting, crude,
Yeah.
baby.
You've very little evidence for that.
That's Nouri al-Maliki, the Iraqi Prime Minister.
Yeah.
His chin looks very close and his forehead looks very far away.
Sense of perspective, always George's problem.
It's sad. Clinton and Blair, they're still sort of on the world stage, and he's just painting people he used to know. Imagine him putting them all on chairs and sort of chatting to them.
Anyone else have a view on how Nigel looks?
Swivel-eyed?
Well, I think Defence Minister Anna Soubry described you best, Nigel, when she told viewers of Andrew Marr's programme. I always think he looks like somebody has put their finger up his bottom and he really rather likes it.
Wow. That's what we expect.
I get lonely.
Shall we go through the top 10 world's favourite numbers?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's at number 1? Number 10.
So, number 10, what do you think?
Number 9 is number 10.
No.
Number 8 is number 10.
No.
Number 10 is number 10.
No.
Number one.
No. No, all numbers are available.
Oh, 128.
No, at number 10, the 10th most popular number is in fact 11. At 9.
It's 10.
No.
40.
No.
21.
No.
100.
At number 9 is the number 2. 2. The most popular number in 8th position is 6. At 7, the 7th most popular number is 9, and the 6th most popular number is 13. OK, here's the top 5.
This is going to be on Channel 4 for a whole evening. There'll be some talking heads in a minute. What do you think of 6? Yeah, love it.
I've always liked 5 because it's a working class number. That's what I like about 5.
Well, I think that 3, F for me. I mean, when I was first growing up, I thought 3 was a magnificent... Oh, sorry. I've started auditioning. Sorry. Where am I?
But let's firstly complete the top 5. At number 5 is 5.
Yeah,
and number 4 is 4.
Yes.
And number 3 is 8.
Oh.
At number 2...
1.
Is 3.
3.
The magic number, and of course 7 is the top
Yeah.
one at number 1. What did Noah do once the ark had landed?
He got drunk.
He did.
And he was punished by, much later, a film being made. With Russell Crowe playing him. With a sort of Irish Hebrew accent.
Oh, go on, give us a flavour of it.
Where are those 2 elephants gone now?
That's very good. It's very good.
Putin with a black halo.
Someone very angry with a Russian flag.
Oh, look, it's Clarkson.
Yeah.
The boys go to the Ukraine.
The Ukraine is racist.
Is it?
Which is why in Top Gear, when we went to Ukraine, all the thes were taken out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it sounded like we were all from Yorkshire. We we're going to Ukraine. You're right, though, it is the worsening situation in the Ukraine. I am a bit of an expert on this, because I was there... did I just say the Ukraine?
You did.
You're right, this is the worsening situation in Ukraine.
Ukraine.
I'm a bit of an expert.
Did you drive there in car?
I'm sorry, car means cock in Albanian. When will you learn to try and hold yourself back?
Car means cock in English as well, to be fair.
Some of them are automatic.
William went to an aircraft factory where he revealed his passion for flying, despite having left the RAF.
Well, he's the best sleeper they've ever had.
What's the difference in sexual harassment and unwanted sexual advances? Why am I looking at you, Camilla? Why am I not looking at Megan?
Well, I don't know why you're looking at any of us, really. I think that probably counts as sexual harassment from you.
I have a slight problem now in that my shirt has become fastened somehow to my desk. I have literally no idea how this has happened, but it has.
If you think I'm going there, I'm far too afraid that will end in another sexual harassment claim.
North Korean state television ran a 5-part series recently to promote neat haircuts. It was called Let Us Trim Our Hair in Accordance with Socialist Lifestyle.
It's a weird country, isn't it?
Very little escapes you, does it? This is a story about a commuter on a rail line, actually very near me, who comes up from Stonegate. And he came up with the wheeze of avoiding paying his ticket, and when he got to London, he just put his Oyster card and tapped it and then left. So instead of paying, it was £45,000 over 5 years, he paid sort of 4.
Are there no ticket inspectors on this line?
You can... It's a very, very remote station, so you can slip in under the barrier, I understand.
particularly high barrier, is it? I mean, are there ticket inspectors on the train? Are they on the train? Are they on the train? That's what I'm saying. On the train?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're not on the train, clearly.
No,
Have you seen a ticket inspector on the train?
No.
Are you this man?
I'll give a point to anyone who can accurately impersonate a rear. Now, you've got to imagine that you've committed a crime and you're rather pleased with it, OK? So, Ian, you go first. What do you think noise it makes?
Just saved myself 43 grand.
No. Paul? Henning? Camilla?
Well, what's this bit? It's got arthritis.
It's got 6-inch claws.
Where's the olive oil?
Let us listen to see who is the closest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry, that...
It's not you, it's Paul, by a mile. What do the Germans have no limit on?
Speed.
Fun.
What does ketchup taste like in Germany?
I guess quite similar to how it tastes in the UK.
Apparently no. Curry ketchup's more popular in Germany.
Oh, but that's a different ketchup, isn't it? It's amazing. I mean, that is...
Small wonder you all have such wonderful physiques.
Well, I can't take, or Germany can't take any credit for my physique. I've been here now for 12 years, and you do have to assimilate, don't you?
The record speed on an autobahn is 268 miles an hour. It was set by Chris Huhne on his holiday, although the Guinness Book of Records attributes it to his... Attributes, not that, is it? Attributes. I know. The record speed on an autobahn is 268 miles an hour. It was set by Chris Huhne on his holiday, although the Guinness Book of Records attributes it to his ex-wife. I said attributes again, didn't I?
Yeah.
But when I rang the
Says
BBC...
it was his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Just say says.
Yeah.
I have to say, Jeremy's English is very good.
Yeah.
You can do it, honestly. Come on. Believe. You can read off a screen. Come on.
I can. What? Falls? No, fails.
Is it host of Have I Got News For You?
Cameron says lots of what is a good thing.
Lots of lovers.
This is the quote. I know with my girlfriends I do totally different things with each of them, and when I want to do those certain things, I can go to that girlfriend and we do those things together.
It's not
It's a
David
different-
It's Cameron Diaz!
It's Cameron Diaz.
It is Cameron Diaz! But for a moment, I had you thinking that our Prime Minister was a sexual pervert.
For just a moment, his polls shot up.
Did he?
Above Farage, just for a minute.
The head of BBC Drama brings in a new voice coach for the cast of Jamaica Inn.
It does sound...
That's the only job I got via the casting. Do you mind working topless?
To be fair, this is set in an era before sound recording was available.
But, I mean, they did mumble all the way through it.
People of Cornwall have been officially recognised as a UK minority. According to the Telegraph, the decision means that Cornish people will for the first time receive the same rights as other minorities in the UK, which means they can now be shot with impunity by the Metropolitan Police.
Why isn't she taking a British person's job?
Because nobody else could do that job.
No British person could work for you as your secretary.
Not unless American.
You don't think anybody's capable of doing that job?
What, marrying me?
No, of doing the job as your secretary.
I don't know anybody that would work those kind of hours now.
That sounds like me trying to excuse the use of prostitutes.
Enlighten us. Or don't. Which job would you rather do? Be Nigel Farage's secretary or the new manager of Manchester United?
Me?
Yeah.
No-brainer, as they say. Dear Nigel.
Would you like to see a very drunk man behaving quite harmlessly?
Yes.
Here he is. He's trying to get to the other side of the fence. He can't get through it. He can't get over it. And the little boy comes back from the shops. Any other Scotsman had a bad week this week?
Well, David Moyes hasn't had a good week.
That's the answer to the question. Well done. Have a point. Somebody's going to step in as a sort of caretaker, do you know?
Ryan Giggs.
Ryan Giggs.
Even I know that.
Yes.
Are you allowed to say his name in public? Rather you than me.
Is there anybody left in UKIP who's allowed to speak? Apart from Farage and Nuttall.
Farage?
No, I won't call him that.
No, he rhymes with garage.
It's like sausage and sausage. Anyway, it's the same. He's a big sausage.
George Clooney's getting married.
George Clooney is getting
and that's
married.
become a news item on this show.
There's people sort of complaining that he's off the market. Do people really care when it's like Prince Harry and his girlfriend splitting up? I find it very hard to... Am I sociopathic, or is it impossible to care about these bloody people you're never going to meet and their stupid bloody lives?
That's right.
The look says, I've hooked the man who hates commitment. Yeah. Shall we play the game?
This is another one of these.
Give us your look of someone who hates commitment. Charlie, how about you?
Yeah, go on.
What is the look of a man?
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's absolutely. Yeah. Ian, can we have yours?
No, I'm very committed.
Yeah, you do. You can see it. Yeah. Bridget, the look of a man who hates commitment. You must have seen that look enough times. Come on. Not necessarily.
Actually, I'm hitting them off with a shitty sticky and beating them off is the expression, isn't it?
Is it? I imagine it is.
So hitting's better.
Give us your look of someone who hates commitment. Paul, please. The stupid thing is, for a moment, I thought I'd gone too far then.
I couldn't go far enough. I'm locked to this thing.
Is this Good Morning Britain?
It landed with disappointing ratings, didn't it?
Because they paid a lot of money to have Susanna Reid to present it.
Yes.
And people moaned that she was sitting behind a desk and they couldn't see her legs.
That's like they did.
And there were viewers were saying it's like buying a Ferrari and keeping it in the garage. Who are these people who can't sit through television for 10 minutes without trying to break into a wank? What's wrong with them?
And obviously Adolf Hitler, the Führer gave his name to moustache. Can I just point out, I don't call him the Führer, it's written there. It's sorry, it's there. I know I've gone a bit over the top.
You're only following orders.
Yeah.
He's following orders.
It's actually a Bin Laden-themed bar to welcome England fans during World Cup. Here he is, there. This is the chap. He's the lookalikes. Is
that real?
It was real about the bar, yes. It's the whole bar is themed around Bin Laden.
What, and his consumption of alcohol?
Yeah. Yes. Famously liked to drink, yeah.
Odd Bin Laden.
As BBC Look Northwest move into smaller premises, they deny that their decision to place the news studio in a lift was a mistake.
In a statement, the panel said it welcomed the apology, but said some of the financial costs could have been avoided.
Yes, this is the grim realisation that there's still a whole year until the next general election, even though there's a sort of you know, methadone election that no one really cares about sooner than that. I did not mean by methadone election the Scottish independence vote, by the way. I have no idea what...
I was just wondering if it's quite early, but let's start now, David, shall we?
I was merely saying that a European election is like the methadone to the full smack of a general election.
Do you know, that's like a photograph you'd see on Grindr.
Please, would you like to inform the court what Grindr is exactly?
It's for a gentleman to find other gentlemen
I
in
see.
your area.
I get it.
That looks like he's saying, there's a space here for you.
There's a photo that could be improved by the presence of a kestrel.
Maybe there was a kestrel and they painted it out. Maybe Axel said, no, you know what, the kestrel's too much.
We will keep looking at the kestrel.
Yeah, that was probably a row of birds of prey all along the arm.
Maybe it's because
Or wearing a little T-shirt with a letter on his "Don't vote UKIP."
And does anyone want to see a television debate in Jordan?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
That's what you want to see on Question Time.
I was just wondering how well this set would stand out to that kind of anger.
Well, we got the replacement for Paxman.
I love the way they ended up holding it like a giant tray.
Yeah, with a giant bit from a box of tissues at the top.
Maybe they were arguing about the furniture. I'm telling you, this is cheap tack.
One of the proposed TV debates will include the three main party leaders, plus UKIP leader Nigel Farage and Green Party leader Natalie Bennett. Partly because the Greens actually have one MP, but mainly because of the BBC ruling that you have to have a woman on the panel. Ian and Andy. Ian, it's a satire of the male-dominated political system, Susan. Clearly.
Oh.
Oh, she looks sad, doesn't he?
My name is Vince Cable, and I'm here to share my feelings with the group.
And meanwhile, why is the government's new crystal ball unit causing concern?
Have they fired Madam Arcadi?
This is a genuine unit. It was set up a year ago, employing 4 full-time officials. It's actually called the Horizon Scanning Programme, set up to look into the future and identify future threats, risks and opportunities for the UK. What's it spotted so far?
Nothing.
Nothing is what it spotted. Absolutely nothing.
Jesus, come on. That's like me getting pissed and just going, right, this is what's going to happen, everybody, right? The world's going to be run by cats.
Except the difference is, Susan, they have not even been bothered to get pissed and say the world's going to be run by cats. Steve Interesting Davis said that even though the competition is open to women, a woman would never win the World Snooker Championship. What Steve said was, women lack that single-minded determination in something that must be said is a complete waste of time. Trying to put balls into pockets with a pointed stick. And how did the outraged women of the snooker world react?
You're looking at me like I'm their representative. It's like very much like David Cameron's cabinet at this precise moment in time. I feel very much at home. Let's close a hospital.
I don't think... You'll notice most snooker players have a nickname. Jester from Leicester, Rocket Ronnie, Hurricane Higgins, Steve Interesting Davis. Shall we have a bit of fun and play Guess the Snooker Nickname?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
go on. Yeah, go on.
So, an easy one to start with. Nigel Bond.
00.
You're half right.
007.
00147. Peter Ebdon.
Peter Ebdon.
It's a variation on the Terminator theme.
Robot Man. The robot.
Exterminator.
No, you're close. It's the Ebdonator.
Oh.
The Ebdonator.
The Ebdonator. Matthew Couch.
The Couchinator.
Yep. The Couchinator.
No. I don't want that to be true.
And finally, Anthony Hamilton. I'll give you a clue. It's not to do with Terminator.
Okay.
But he is from Nottingham.
The Sheriff.
The Sheriff.
I'm going to tell you.
Tell us, yeah, go on.
The Sheriff of Pottingham. I think they must have just thought of that and then told him to take up snooker.
This was a sign that was put up in an examination hall, and it said no cheating. You know, just telling people, you know, don't cheat just in the exam. But the formulae written on the hand is actually genuine stuff, and so they were able to look at the poster and answer some of the mathematical questions based on what was written on the poster. Is that right?
That is absolutely right. Why have Google been suffering from rogue anuses?
Oh yes, yes, yes. This is there's a there's a computer program which misreads old print, so arms comes out as anus. So farewell to anus. I drape my anus across her shoulder in a comforting manner. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. They tell us if I'm making it up, but I'm not, am I, David?
You're not making it up. Poor Janet shuddered at the words which she heard him utter. For with strange and wicked oaths he vowed vengeance on the individual who'd persecuted him, and she flung her anus around his neck and kissed his forehead. From Georgina Bragg's Matisse on the Loose, she grabbed my anus and positioned my body in the direction of the East Gallery, and we started walking. And in the complete works of Washington Irving, there is a reference to the great captain, who had been one of his comrades in anus. Are there any other words that Google Book scanning technology is confused?
Yeah, I can't do tax.
Yes, it reads tax as free. No, it's burn and bum get muddled up as well.
Scotland, what happens? It's bums night.
Where they all join anuses and sing Old Lang Syne.
Researchers at the University of Leicester have discovered Pinocchio would only have been able to tell 13 lies before his neck snapped under the weight of his nose.
Oh, is that because he's fictional?
Yeah.
He's not fictional, he's a real boy.
He is now.
Yes. Another study that the same students have done was, does Winnie the Pooh have a vitamin B12 deficiency? So,
Does he?
No.
I think Tigger might be bipolar.
Yeah, definitely.
When you think about it, Winnie the Pooh is quite sluggish, isn't he?
Yeah.
He can have a deficiency, couldn't he?
He's definitely get that from the honey, the B12, though, isn't it? In the honey?
Is that maybe that's why he craves the honey so much?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
I won't be able to watch it when I get home now.
Oh, yes, that's Gary Barlow, a long time ago, when he was very poor. And this is about tax, isn't it? He's had to pay tax which he hadn't paid before. And that's his accountant, by the look of it.
The Prime Minister said that we shouldn't judge Mr Barlow too harshly and he shouldn't have to give back his OBE.
I completely agree with the Prime Minister.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, I find that hugely surprising.
Yes, I always completely agree with the Prime Minister. He always says wise and good things, and I think this was a particularly wise and good thing for him to say.
David Cameron went on. He's raised money for charity. The OBE was in respect of that. So was Jimmy Savile's.
The Royal Variety Show must have a pretty impressive alumni of tax dodgers and paedophiles by now. It's pretty...
Actually, so does this show.
We want your money back for good. Do you know that song, Back for Good?
No. Yes.
No. Yeah, well, you know
Whenever
it.
I'm wrong, just tell me the song and I'll sing it.
Yes.
It continues. Thank you. That woman up the back there that couldn't get into Graham Norton this evening.
Hardly a unique experience.
But Nigel Farage should replace Nick Clegg as Deputy Prime Minister.
Oh, I think there would be joy in heaven if that would happen.
What about here on Earth?
Now, this, Jacob, is an iPod.
The guy who invented that noise, which is the sound of a lorry reversing, has come out and said that he regrets his invention.
But isn't that the point of an alarm, though, isn't it? To sort of be, you know, slightly annoying, to notice it rather than somebody going, hello.
Anyone got any better suggestions?
What about the countdown theme? The 10
Oh,
seconds.
that's a good idea.
As it gets closer and closer. And you need to get out of the way before it goes down. Or celebrities could
Yeah, celebrity. Humphrey Bogart saying, get out of the way.
Yeah. Stephen Hawking would be good.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Alan Bennett. Oh, get out of the way.
This is that we're not getting enough sleep because we use artificial light and we watch too much television, and therefore we don't go to bed on time.
That's right. Do you do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you count candles as artificial light?
Do you wear one of those hats in bed? Those big I can kind of see one of those in a nightgown. Yes.
I'll consider it.
Yeah.
Because Gothic was known as banger. The thing was turned into a sausage. First is sausage, say Her Majesty. No bid dare call Her Majesty anything so rude. Is not the... yes, but I don't wish to call Her Majesty odd. That seems a bit... Her Majesty is not in line with the other three on this occasion.
Has anyone ever enjoyed a rear sausage?
Does it count if you're on holiday?
What in descending lift?
I saw this. It was in the Daily Mail. It's Beyonce's sister hit her husband in a lift in New York, and that's what it is.
Crikey, Jacob.
I was going to say respect.
Before we go, there's just time for the caption competition. Here's one.
Whose idea was it to book us for cats?
And there are one or two teething problems with the newly designed uniform for Switzerland's elite armed response unit.
Oh, couple there sneaking out of a toilet by the looks of things.
Which question in a recent poll in the Mirror had 38% of the people who were asked agreeing with it?
Are you going to vote?
No, it was I didn't know there was an election on Thursday.
38%?
Yes. How has the Bulgarian political scientist Ivan Kratsev described the European Union? And these could be words from maybe one of your poems, John.
A total waste of time. That was John Cooper Clarke.
I thought that was you doing Bulgarian.
No, that was a little fun then.
Welcome to Bulgaria.
The DJ asked him about the local Labour leader on the council, and Miliband didn't know who it was, but he pretended he did.
Jim Grant, do you think he's doing a good job?
I think that lots of Labour representatives are doing a good job right across the country, and
You do know who Jim Grant is, Mr. Miliband?
Well, you'll enlighten me, I'm sure.
Swindon Labour leader.
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job. And I think...
Will he feel like you support him enough if you don't even know his name?
Well, he's doing a good job as leader of the council, Jim is, and I think that's the case.
But he's not the leader of the council, is he, Mr. Miliband?
Well, I
It's
think
a Conservative-led council.
No, I think he's doing a good job for Labour on the council.
Do you think he's going for the sympathy vote?
Ed Miliband was trailed at the top of the show. See if you can spot the moment that he remembered Axelrod's instruction to smile.
Will Ed Miliband survive as leader? We'll ask him why nearly half of Labour voters think he's been wrong now.
He's not a natural, is he? And then he tries to look a bit sort of pouty and sexy as well, which is a worry.
It's right at the moment where they say, will he survive as leader? And even he laughs.
Here is talented 70s footballer Duncan McKenzie. Can you tell me one of his two special powers?
Oh, yeah, throwing golf balls the length of a football pitch and jumping over cars. There he is. At last, this programme has found my métier.
It's a topical news quiz for Paul's childhood.
As you say, Paul, he can throw a golf ball 125 yards. Let's just take a look.
And on a bleak morning at Ellen Road last week, in his street clothes and with a slightly strained right shoulder, he still produced a throw there of some 111 yards.
That's the only clip from 1970s television you're still allowed to play on the BBC. It's a very long tie Boris has got on there, isn't it? Shouldn't it stop, like, above the gentleman's area?
No, it's clipped to the bottom with a padlock.
I did Domino's Pizza 5 years ago.
Oh, I missed that
I'll
one.
tell you when it
Chips
was.
I like.
I'll tell you when it was. It was at the beginning of the threatened swine flu pandemic. And I thought there's never been a better time to endorse pizzas. Because I'd seen all the scare stories on the TV about how the hospitals would be overloaded and every family in this country, they said, would be nursing a precious family member at home with this highly contagious, possibly life-threatening virus. And I thought, well, there's not many nourishing meals you can slide under the door.
Theresa May, she's taken off the helmet part.
I have a particular problem with Angela Merkel. Is it true you called her an unfuckable lard ass?
No, I have never had any problems with Angela Merkel. In 20 years of politics, I have never insulted anyone.
Is that really what he said? Or, because judging by his hands there, I think he was going, yes, I love it. He's a big lad. If anything, it is the most fuckable thing ever. And the translator's going, no, I never did that. I've never insulted anyone. He's lovely. He's squeezing all the time. Look at him there. Look at him.
Jeremy Paxman does have the air of a man who's not staying around for much longer, doesn't he? In the programme, I think.
It's a bit D-Mob happy, isn't it?
Yes.
Last day, I could say anything.
Yeah.
I know. I'll say...
Go on.
No. It'd be like finding out that entertainers from your childhood were sort of... No, forget it.
And in Westminster, Boris Johnson is asked if he became Prime Minister, would he press the nuclear button?
No, I don't know. No, I mean, it's a matter of sublime. I mean, yes. I mean, no. Who cares? I mean, I know it's very important. It's very important. Well, I'll watch this space. I don't know.
What did the BNP's Nick Griffin, who lost his MEP seat, what does he have to say?
Nick Griffin said they were racist. It's like when Karl Lagerfeld said that Adele was ugly, when he looks like he's been doodled by a lunatic.
It was the most encouraging thing about the election. I mean, it's the biggest swing to the far right Europe's ever known, and in this country, the BNP lose their one seat.
Nick Griffin said, we are indeed what you might call racist.
Oh.
And explained their drop in support by saying they voted for UKIP's racist policies instead.
Cameron will travel to Brussels later today for a meeting with Europe's leaders that was always scheduled for immediately after the European elections, but now has assumed... Oh, fucking hell.
We do apologise for that. That was a not really recording, and our apologies here from Sky News.
He's been caught out. He's pretending it's live.
Yes. How long's that clock been there?
I love the way she said calm.
I thought that was the report of what the European leaders had said. The Liberals had a very, very bad night. As soon as the elections were up, without saying, you know, what's going to happen around there, they said, you're going to resign, Clegg. You're going to resign. I bet you're going to resign. Do you want to resign now? Go on, cry. Go on, cry. Cry. How are you feeling? Resign, cry. Look, I'm a journalist. I know how it's done.
Yes. Who surprised everyone by kicking a football this week?
Alex Salmond.
Alex Salmond, trying to appeal to ex-SNP voters. Going over to the new kit. Would you like to see the Nigerian goalkeeper not saving a goal?
I'd love to see it.
I saw 20 quid sticking out of his glove. Afterwards, he said, "Whoopsie, what am I like?"
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you not get arrested for that?
No, actually, we're not suggesting, of course, that anything untoward took place.
I thought you were.
No, we're not. We're
No, not
absolutely
looking
not.
us into it. I thought you
We're
were.
not. No. Look at this. Nothing untoward. That's kind of fine.
I think alarm bells started ringing when someone bet 50p on Scotland.
The goal was disallowed. And he's their coach, he should know. He had 50 grand on a draw, didn't he? 50 grand on a draw.
Yes, Paul and Victoria.
Laugh out loud, or whatever it is. 25 years old as an abbreviation, as an acronym, whatever it is. LOL.
Has it always been lots of love? No.
Laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud.
I don't know. I might have to rethink some of those tweets.
And a South Korean parking space.
I know about that because I heard about that on the radio. They're having special parking spaces for women, which are going to be bigger than normal parking spaces.
So what happens if you park in the wrong sexual space?
I don't know.
You found out by now.
They're also going to be painted.
Pink?
Pink.
Painted pink?
They are, yes.
When dogs leave something on the pavement, they're going to spray it pink.
Yes.
Really?
That's exactly right.
Really?
In order to highlight the problem of
Well, this
dog
is won't that attract
doos.
female drivers?
Only Koreans. Kinky University changes its name to what?
Hello. Put these on.
Cirencester Agricultural College.
Yes.